Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to podcast number 20. That's right, number 20 of Husker Hype Radio. Aaron Worsfold, my brother from another mother, my compadre from another madre, my friend from another womb. How are you doing, pal?
Eddie, it's Victory Monday, and I can't feel much better than I do right now. Eddie, how are you?
I'd have to second you on that, Aaron. I mean, I do feel like we could feel a little bit better
That's true. That's
regarding
true.
the news coming out this morning. Let's get right into it, folks. Nebraska wins 35-11 against Northern Illinois. Good ball game. I mean, what more could you expect from the defense? Pretty much 35-3. They scored in like the last 10 seconds, I believe. Just some chump change bullshit. But guys, the big news that we're talking about here are top two running backs, Gabe Irvin and Rahmir Johnson, out for the rest of the season. Rahmir suffered a shoulder injury. Gabe suffered a hip injury. And folks, it's going to be the Anthony Grant show. How do you feel?
Time to put the cape on Anthony Grant. What was it? 70% of our carries last year were from this guy. So you hate to see those two nice young gentlemen go out, especially Gabe Irvin Jr. He was doing well for us. I do feel okay having Anthony Grant back there, though. I mean, he has experience. He's an older gentleman. You just hope he holds onto the ball and takes us to the fucking promised land.
I mean, here's a guy last year, 218 carries, 915 yards, 6 touchdowns. I mean, buddy can do it. You know, I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is if we lost two running backs in one game, Anthony's got to stay healthy. And that's a big thing where football's unpredictable injury-wise, man. You don't know. I mean, the Gabe Irvin play, I watched it today, and it was just a regular play, man. Buddy gained 10 yards and comes off hobbling with holding his hip. And like we said, we talked a little bit before this in those post-game interviews with Gabe, you wouldn't even expect that he's out for the season. And I don't think he knew that either.
No. Yeah, I agree. It's sad. And then Rahmir, I didn't even see his injury. Apparently he's out with the shoulder. That's a big, and these guys are productive not only in the running game, but they've had a couple receptions either to kind of bail out the quarterback. So it's tough.
It sucks, man. Behind Gabe is going to be Emmett Johnson, who's been back returning kicks for us. I don't know if he's received one. It's been more to Rahmir's side, but Emmett Johnson, not a bad football player either. Mr. Minnesota when he played high school there. I mean, we got guys in the backfield. Don't get me wrong. And Marcus Satterfield, I almost want to hold him to his quote that he said a few weeks ago. This offense, you're not the position that you're listed as. You're supposed to be able to play every single position. So, buddy, give me Jeff Sims in the backfield. Give me Heinrich in the backfield. We need our explosive playmakers in the game. And tell me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but I know it's a little unconventional, but I feel like it's something that Nebraska could do.
I mean, anything's possible. Anything can happen. I would love to see it. Jeff Sims is a big guy. Will it happen? Likely not. But I love the idea.
And I do really feel like going back to Emmett Johnson, we haven't seen him at all. He hasn't proved himself, but I do think that he'll be able to carry the load on those third down plays. It's going to be a majority of Anthony Grant, a guy who can do it, who did it last year. Just really sucks for those two guys. I mean, more than anything, Gabe Irvin already had a season-ending injury 2 years ago. If you remember, against that Oklahoma game, torn ACL. And then Rahmir, this is probably his last season. It just really blows, man. And not something you never want to see, a season-ending injury, especially this early in the season when we haven't even got into conference play yet. It's sad, bro. And let's talk about
the positives. What I mean, we had a new quarterback, Ed. What'd you think?
we had a new quarterback, Heinrich HIMberg, 14
Him.
for 24, 150 yards, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran the ball 21 times for 98 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, kid plays Nebraska football.
Uh-huh.
He plays like a Nebraska Cornhusker. You know, he never slid, which is, you love to see it, but also he's our quarterback. We got to keep him healthy. It's yin yang type of thing with that also, man. And I guess Tommy Frazier told him after the game, I want to see you slide more, Heinrich. But you know what Heinrich said to him? Hell, I never saw you slide that much.
Ooh, let's go.
It's something that, you know, fires me up a little bit, man. Heinrich going back, watching the 90s and really playing like a freaking Husker, lowering the shoulder, trucking motherfuckers.
Dude, absolutely. And the crowd was all about it, dude. Everybody, every time he ran the ball, he had great reads. He'd pull the ball quick and go the other way and get scamper for a first down. It was nice to see. And then another quote from Gabe Irvin Jr. He said, this guy's a leader in the offense. He comes in the huddle. He says, all right, boys, we're going to go in here. We're going to get this first down. We're going to rule this shit. And he was like, damn, he's got some sauce to him.
And that's something that you love about the huddle, dude, is Heinrich can go in before the play and say, hey, let's fuck these Huskies up, dude. Let's fuck these Huskies up. We got the N on the side of their helmet. They got this stupid NIU on the side of their helmet. We're going to go play smash mouth football, man. Smash mouth football. And you got to love it, dude. You got to love it. This is Nebraska football that we saw 35. I'm going to call it 35-3. Aaron, give me, you talked about the vibes a little bit. Give me the vibes inside Lincoln. How did it feel in there, dude? What was the energy like?
The energy was high. First home game, the crowd was just like itching for anything. Just whatever was to happen, the crowd was going to cheer as long as it was positive. And that first drive, Eddie, when we went down there and we scored right away and we looked good and Harbaugh's doing his thing. He's finding open receivers. He's running the fucking ball, dude. It would, the top, if there was a top on Memorial Stadium, it would have came falling down because of the cheers, the crowd. It was so loud. They had a lot of good things on the big screen for the 100 years I mean, you know, the tunnel walk and then the flyover. Everybody's lit, dude. Every bar's packed. The city's buzzing. Matt Rule's first win.
You have a chub.
Dude, I was ricked up, dude.
I
cried. I texted you, Eddie. I cried during the tunnel walk. Every time I watch my boys run out onto the field and I hear that music, I just have to cry. And one thing I forgot this year is since they built that new facility over there on the other side of the, what would that be? The northeast end zone. They come out of that tunnel now. And so that was something that surprised me. I was like, oh yeah, that's sick.
Yep, they got coming out of the field. It says, "I play for Nebraska. I play football for the University of Nebraska." Man, that's just something that when you see that coming out, and then you see Memorial Stadium, 86,000 people in the stands screaming you on, a team that hasn't won more than 4 games in 5 years, dude. And you go, "This is Nebraska. I play for Nebraska, and I want to get this state, this team, this tradition back in order, dude." And I'm telling you, it's coming, baby. It's coming, dude.
That's one thing I like that you just said there, Ed. It's because people are already the dumb mainstream media is saying like, oh, Nebraska sucks, this, that. This team's still bought in. We still have 9 games left of this season, and this team and this culture is buzzing. The student athletes are hyped up for their first win for Coach Rule. They're hyped up for their first win of the year back in Memorial Stadium. The vibes are up. If you had to buy stock in Nebraska, you should have bought it like a week or 2 ago because this shit's on the rise. Or buy right now if it's a good price.
Yeah, I'd buy at least one or two.
I've been buying.
Yeah. So you know us. This is Husker Hype Radio. Yeah. We're full go. I got the rent on this shit. All right, guys. Receiving here. New background, by the way. Husker Hype Radio broadcast studio, which we are in, and is now turned into the temporary podcast studio in Costa Mesa, California, folks. Receiving Fedoni leading with 4 receptions, 42 yards. Marcus Washington here, 2 receptions for 37 yards. Billy Kemp, 3 receptions, 13 yards, and a touchdown. Fedoni with a touchdown as well. Aaron, let's kind of talk about the big picture on offense here. Pal, what are you thinking? What's your thing here watching the offensive scheme and how it's playing out so far these first 3?
Yeah, I commented a lot on the Husker Hype broadcast. And by the way, Eddie, great job. Watch them on Saturdays at Husker Hype Radio. Great broadcast by you. I commented a lot. Too simple of schemes at times, especially in the passing game. Obviously, Nebraska, we're a rush first team. Run the damn ball. That's our thing, right? Time of possession, keep that in our favor, run the clock. I think the thing that you and I both agree on is that it's how sometimes for me it's how we pass the ball. Like we're kind of just making it a little too hard on ourselves compared to that Billy Kemp touchdown when it's that nice little slant under that you don't really see much of in the flat. More things like that, utilizing tight ends over the middle, kind of just making it easy for our offense to create momentum and move the ball down the field.
Yeah, and when we're passing the football, I mean, there's a lot of drives this last game where we were first down, run the ball, get 5 yards. We do that all the way down the field. And then at some point in time, it's 1st and 10, and we pass the ball. And it's not, a simple quick slant or quick under the middle pass play, a screen play. It's we take a shot. And I can't understand that where you want to catch them off guard, but I just don't know if this offense is really a big play offense. It's more, time of possession. Let's have the ball and carry it down the field, 9-minute drive, 5 to 9 minute drives, and kind of wear down the defense. Whereas Marcus Satterfield is trying to take shots on 1st and 2nd down. And then that puts us in 3rd down situations, and we're not good on 3rd down. I mean, 8 for 14 on 3rd downs at the end of the game, but in the middle of the 3rd quarter, we were 1 for 7. So, I mean, 3rd down, and that's troublesome for the Nebraska offense. And I think it just goes to the scheme, where we're not a good 2nd and 10 team. We need to gain some yards, certainly on 1st down, and give ourselves more opportunity to run more plays on 2nd and 3rd down.
I agree, Ed, because what's going to happen here during Big Ten play is that they recognize we have a really good rushing team and we can move the ball, but they're like, all right, let's load the box and make them throw the ball. And then it's going to be a little bit danger for us. So we got to figure out how to play some more complementary offense there.
And we love Heinrich, we love Jeff, but those guys, I don't know if passing is their strong suit. I mean, Heinrich with 21 carries for 98 yards. If that's what we got to do to win the game by all be damned, then let's have the quarterback be our leading rusher, man. It doesn't matter how we win it. It's if we win it. So, I mean, we're 2nd in rushing yards a game in the Big Ten with 209, last in passing yards, 130. So if we keep trying to pass the football and we're not even good at that in the first place, then I don't know really what our thing is there, why we keep trying to go back to that on 1st down. And game total, 339 yards a game, 10th in the Big Ten. Not a good number there either. So I think this offense really needs to find our identity. We got basically one running back there now. We got a 1 and 2 quarterback who are neck and neck. We'll see who Matt Rule starts this game against Louisiana Tech. But offense, as fired up as we were, them scoring 35 points, Heinrich HIMberg leading the team, it's still take all the Husker hype away, and this is just an average offense.
Yeah. I mean, when you're last in the Big Ten in passing, I mean, that's tough. I mean, speaking of, do you think, I think from the sound of it, Matt Rule is keeping Heinrich as a starter from his press conference he just had. Do you know the status of Sims' injury, or what's the details on that?
I mean, I don't know it 100%. I do think that Jeff Sims I feel like his ankle should be fine by next week. But if you got something rolling with Heinrich, the Nebraska kid at home in Lincoln, give me Heinrich, dude. I mean, he did
Right.
make some very good pass plays as well. 0 interceptions.
Yeah. And
Zero inter-
that one fumble wasn't really even his fault. He just got rolled up on like in 2 seconds when he's trying to pass in the pocket. And shout out to the defense. They get the Northern Illinois gets the ball on the 5-yard line and we hold them to 3 points. That's
I think
huge.
that's a great segue here to go into the defense now. Recap on the offense. I mean, scored 35 points against Northern Illinois, and we don't know our identity yet. Defense, on the other hand, these boys are ball players.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about it, dude. Nash Hutmacher, 6 total tackles, absolute dog. I mean, you don't want to mess with Polar Bear. I told you already, dude. He's gonna snap your carotid artery. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's a dog. So many different guys making plays too. You know, it's not the first 11 starters. It's Tommy Hill coming in and making a lot of pass breakups. It's Makai Bayer having an interception, or no, sorry, excuse me, Javen Wright with an interception. Just a ton of personnel on the defense, and everybody, it seems like they're firing at all cylinders.
Yeah, I agree. I think the amount of players that we've had on in the secondary in particular shouldn't surprise me, but it does. There's a lot of names I don't even know that sometimes I'm watching. I'm like, damn, we got some ball players in the backfield. And overall, the defense, people were talking so much smack on our 3-3-5. It's not going to work in the Big Ten, folks. We're first in the Big Ten with 14 sacks, and we're third in the nation, right behind Wake Forest with 16 and Louisiana with 15.
285 yards allowed in the game. I mean, this rushing stat is crazy. 46 rushing yards a game. That's Blackshirt defense, dude.
That's first in the Big Ten, third in the nation. That is, you're right, Eddie. That's Husker football. If we can have our names up there in the top 3 for stats for the defense, that just gets you off this.
A stat that I do need to see start getting called a little more is turnovers. We did have one interception, Javen Wright, but I think Matt Rule said it in the press conference. As hard as we're hitting these guys, we got to find a way to pop the football out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially going back to our offense where, you know, I think that they're going to be the lesser of the two this season. Defense is going to need to help them out as much as they can and to turn the football over and, you know, inside the other team's own territory. That's going to be huge for us to be able to score points. And hell, give me a pick 6, dude. Give me a freaking pick 6 interception. I want it all, dude. I love the sacks. I love the tackles for loss. But the cherry on top for this defense would be to get more turnovers.
Yeah. And if I only had one thing to say about the defense, would be that our pass defense can be a little suspect. We just add a lot of cushion. There's multiple variables that could explain that, but that's the only thing I would say.
I mean, but these guys are sure tacklers. Once they catch the ball, these 5 hats the football.
Hats the ball.
And it's just something. So many 3 and outs. I don't know the whole thing. I mean, they got the ball on the 5-yard line and we held them to 3 points, dude. Like, what more can you want from a defense? And then a garbage 8 points in the last 10 seconds of the game. You know, the score was 35-3. Nebraska holds NIU to 3 points, starting one of their drives at the 5-yard line. That's money, baby. That's friggin' money.
Yeah, that is money.
I mean, I think that's enough said about the defense. Another loss, though, out for the season, Dwight Boodle, DiCaprio's younger brother. Played more on special teams, but he's injured and he's going to be a red shirt. So, I mean, not good for the kid, but at least he gets a red shirt, you know, only 3 games in. Maybe a little bit about special teams here. I mean, don't think that they played bad at all. No chances for a field goal. Tristan Alvano did kick it out of bounds at one point during the kickoff. Usually that's Brian Bashini's job, though. So I think they just might have gave Tristan a chance. Punting went very well. We almost damn near had a safety in the back of the what would that be? The south end zone.
Uh-huh.
It was your side, yeah. I mean, almost had a safety, buddy. Nearly just got it off just in time, but we're rushing well. Special teams is looking good. Ad Foley's doing his job.
Yeah, absolutely. Special teams is great, especially an improvement from last week. Bushini had a higher net punt this week. Didn't miss any field goals. Those are both positives.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get into this game coming up. Louisiana Tech. I don't even know what their mascot is. What's their mascot?
They're the Bulldogs.
The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Okay. So they're about to get walked by Herbie.
Ayo.
Is that what I'm hearing? They're about to get walked by Herbie here. Put the choker chain on. Don't let the boy go past. We're not going to let him rush down and
Stay in the yard. Stay in the
yard. And damn it, we're going to put him inside if he fucking starts to be a little bitch.
Get the shot collar on his ass.
Yeah, get the shot collar on that boy's ass. Anyways, Louisiana Tech Bulldogs 2-2 in the American Athletic Conference. 225 passing yards a game, 181 rushing yards a game, averaging 31 points a game. That's not bad. That's not bad from those guys, but newsflash, they're playing the Blackshirts this week. So expect those numbers to go down significantly.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, Aaron, didn't do too much of research on these guys because it's Nebraska playing Nebraska for this next game, non-conference. We just got to really prove to ourselves who we are, get some confidence into Michigan, and just play football in Lincoln, Nebraska.
No, I agree. It's us versus us. It's a see what we can do now with our guys out and figuring out the quarterback position. I mean, La Tech's played FIU, SMU. I don't even know who one of the teams they played, and then North Texas, which is the worst team in the league. So I'm not really too impressed with their offensive stats because our Blackshirt defense is going to kill them. The key to the game here, though, is that their pass defense is okay. Their rush defense isn't very good. So if we can run the fucking ball against these guys, that's good for us.
Allowing 205 yards a game, and that's not with Anthony Grant at running back.
Right.
That's not with Heinrich Harbarg and Jeff Sims at quarterback running the football option. Mm-hmm. Bang, bang, bang. Give me some. Big red touchdown in your face. Fucking Lincoln, Nebraska, baby. Aaron, you're going to be right.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there this week for sure, and then next week, and then after that, I think it's Northwestern after that. Oh, yeah, we're away at Michigan State. So I don't think I'm going to make it to East Lansing this year, but I will for sure be at the next two home games, folks. And if you want me to bring you one of these, I brought a few folks to Lincoln, a Bleed Red Shit Corn t-shirt. Just text me, hit up the DMs.
We got some sales this week.
Yeah. I had some folks be like, "Hey, Aaron, bring me a shirt down to Lincoln. I need to get my Bleed Red Shit Corn on." And I was like, "Hey, I got you."
Very nice. How many compliments did you get on that thing?
Dude, I was walking down the street and everybody was like, nice shirt, nice shirt. Oh, everybody was loving it. And it's even funnier. One guy, I went to softball Sunday night, right? And the team were playing, this guy goes, "Hey, were you at the Husker game yesterday?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was actually." He's like, "Oh, I saw you and I liked your shirt." I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
Like, dude, you want to buy one for $20? Husker.
I was like, "We'll get you one, bro." He's like, he just laughed it off. We were in the middle of the ball. We were, I was hauling ass around the bases. And then I go into work today. My coworker sees me. He's like, "Yo, I saw you at the game yesterday." I was like, "Why didn't you say hi?" He's like, "Because you were hauling ass yelling 'Go Big Red' down the street." And I was like,
Perfect. That's Husker at its finest, folks. And
the coldest Crawford, last thing about La Tech I have, 4 games played, 0 receptions. I don't know if Buddy's hurt, but he's logged 4 games. So that means he's played, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, he transferred from Nebraska. Maybe it wasn't the best decision for him. He should have stayed with the Big Red, but it's okay.
I mean, another transfer, some sad news. Casey Thompson tore his ACL, but he just can't catch a break. It sucks for Casey. That's all I got to say about that. You want to do picks?
Let's get into picks, Ed. Last week was great for me. Let's do a little rundown from year to date. Last week I was
while you talk about this.
Last week I was 12-5, 10-3 in the Big Ten. Eddie was 6-11 overall, 6 for 7 in the Big Ten. Overall, I'm 26-21, and Eddie's 19-28.
Hey.
We're 47 picks in, and we have a great slate of games. Eddie was right. This was kind of a harder week to guess and pick, but I feel confident with my board, and I'm ready to get after it.
Let's get into it here. I do have a couple of games I think that aren't the Barstool Sportsbook lines, but I don't think it'll matter too much. Here we go. Wisconsin at Purdue. The under is 53.5. Wisconsin favored by 6. Tough one here. I think I got the under 53.5 for Wisconsin Purdue.
I also have the under, Eddie. I just don't think neither of these teams have scored that many points all year, so I don't really believe that they will now.
That prolific Luke Fickell offense that is supposed to be amazing, and the reason they brought Luke Fickell is not performing too well, as I don't think the nation thought they would. Not really a headline in the nation, Wisconsin is.
Right. If this was at home, I may have taken Wisconsin -6, but it's on the road. Purdue's kind of feeling salty, so that's why I went with the under.
Rutgers at Michigan here. Michigan favored by 24. Over under here is 44.5. I can't see. I'm gonna do the over here. Rutgers, Michigan.
Tough one. I hate that we have the same one just based off competition, but Eddie, I also have the over 44.5 points. That's not that many points. Michigan might hold 40 on them themselves, and Rutgers is going to squeak out a score too, I think.
Yes. That's what I was thinking. Florida Atlantic at Illinois. Illinois favored by 14, over under 47.5. And I have Illinois by 14 just because of that Casey Thompson news that we just heard. I mean, They don't have a quarterback. Illinois has been struggling this season. Don't get me wrong, but it's a home game. And I feel like the boys, they lost bad to Penn State last weekend at home, but bounce back game for Illinois. They win by 14.
So this is where I messed up at. I know I told you originally we were doing the Barstool Sports odds. Today I was looking at Caesars on the ESPN app. I have it at 14.5. Are we going with 14?
I mean, it's pretty much the same shit. They got to win by at least 50.
Right. I guess you're right. Just the push, because it's it's an even football score. So I also have Illinois -14, but based off everything you said, it's a get right game for Illinois. I've been betting on them all year, except for Penn State.
We've been high on Illinois this offseason, dude.
I have, and I'm just waiting for them to finally turn that leaf, because and then I was watching the game, Eddie, and I realized they lost 5 of their starters on defense, and then their defensive coordinator is at Purdue now. So I'm thinking that I didn't have all the information at that point, but I still think Illinois -14.
All right, here, La Tech at the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Memorial Stadium. Aaron Wars will be there. What time's the game?
2:30.
2:30, so that'll
local
be
time.
2:30 Pacific time kickoff for the Husker Radio broadcasters in Costa Mesa, California.
You said 12:30 for you?
11:30.
Are you 3 hours behind me or 2?
Yeah, 3.
Damn, you're 3 hours behind me.
Wait.
What time is it? No, yeah, you're only 2 hours. You're 6 o'clock third. Yeah.
12:30. 12:30 game. I mean, I got Nebraska getting the spread, dude. You think that we're not going to beat La Tech by fucking 3 touchdowns with our defense and the offense kind of really finding its groove? Fingers crossed that the boys figured out this week. Yeah, we got them by 20.
Yeah, I had the same logic. I knew you were going to do the spread on this one, so I just went ahead and did the over because I'm like, we're going to score points.
Okay, I like that. Maryland at Michigan State. 7.5. Maryland's favored, over under 53.5. I got Maryland simply because of the fact that Mel Tucker situation there. I think that he's basically done. He's out of there. And there's just too much turmoil, drama going on in East Lansing. Even though it's at home, give me Maryland 7.5.
I also have that. So we're the same picks for 5 out of the 4 right now.
This is
Four,
probably
four,
this is the easiest one of the week for me. Maryland, Michigan State.
yeah.
Minnesota at Northwestern, 11.5. Minnesota is favored, over under 38.5. I got Minnesota 11.5.
I do too, man. That's shitty that we have the same one again, but that's how it goes.
These out of conference ones will be the deciders, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Which I haven't historically been great at that, so that's nerve-wracking.
Ohio State at Notre Dame in South Bend. Ohio State favored by 3.5, over under 54.5. Ohio State goes into South Bend and whoops the fucking piss out of the Fighting Irish, dude. -3.5. I'm taking that. That's easy.
I have Notre Dame plus 3.5.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. That's a good one. I think Notre Dame's going to keep it close. Their offense is good. Ohio State hasn't played as good of competition as Notre Dame has to this point. And I think Notre Dame's off. Yeah, they're going to score. So plus 3.5.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
one. Iowa at Penn State. Penn State favored by 14.5. Over under here 41.5. Whiteout game. Talked about that in pods past. And I mean, Penn State wins. I got the spread on Penn State. I just don't like Iowa, bro. I just want to see them not.
See, I also knew that you were going to get Penn State 14.5. So I went under 41.5. That's a small under, but these are two good defenses, and I'm rooting for no points.
Yeah. Now that I say that, dude, it's a Big Ten football game, and that's what I was thinking too, kind of. But just for the hatred of the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Akron at Indiana, -16 Indiana, over under 45.5. I got the spread on Indiana.
You got Indiana -16?
Yep.
Okay. I got under. They're not going to score a lot of points. Under. I don't know.
Okay. All right, let's go into our out of conference games here. Let's do actually score prediction, Nebraska, La Tech first before we go into that. What do you think?
Do you have yours off rip? You know what you're going to say? Okay, you go.
45-7, Big Red.
Okay.
Some points, dude. Anthony Grant goes nuts. Anthony Grant goes absolutely insane. He says, I'm that guy. This is my senior season. I'm that guy. Coach Rule, thank you for taking me out in the Colorado game because it gave me fuel. I'm that guy. 3 touchdowns, Anthony Grant.
Wow, Eddie. Nice. I think I like 38-10. I think I like 38-10.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay. Nice. SEC here. We got Memphis at Mizzou. Mizzou just came off of a win against Kansas State. That was a really fun game to watch. Buddy hit a 61-yarder for Missouri to win the football game. Mizzou's favored by 7, and I got Mizzou with the spread there.
Mizzou. I have the same game, but I have points over 53. These are two teams that can score over 25 points each, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a shootout. Over 53.
All right. Big 12. Go ahead. Tell me what you got.
I have Texas Tech at West Virginia. a lot of my out of conference games, I just went with overs, and this is over 55. That I have the same reasoning for every game I picked out of conference. I think I just foresee a lot of points, and every time I see a game at West Virginia, it's always like 63 to 61.
Yeah, it's a Big 12 shootout. I got Texas at Baylor. Texas, the number 3 team in the nation, buddy. I don't like them, but I'm getting the spread minus 14.5 Texas. Quinn Ewers is kind of that guy. I can't lie. Quinn Ewers is pretty freaking good, dude.
Him yours.
Yeah, him Ewers. All right. Pac-12 here. I got Cal at Washington. Big spread here, but I think I've picked Washington for all of my Pac-12 picks. And I got Washington again, minus 21. I mean, dude, the nation is sleeping on Michael Penix Jr. and Washington. This offense is prolific. Defense isn't too bad either if they won the spread every time. Minus 21 Washington.
Nice. For the Pac-12, I have Oregon State at Wazoo over 56.
Okay.
Same concept. I see points.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about this Oregon-Colorado game? Colorado's favored by 21, I believe.
No, Oregon's favored by 21.
Oregon.
I almost took that game, dude, just because Colorado's defense isn't any good and Oregon has a decent defense. So I could see them winning by like 2-3 scores, but that'd be like 17. Like I don't see them winning by 21 necessarily.
Yeah.
Like they're going to keep it within the points, I think. Like but I didn't want to bet for Colorado. So I was like, I'm not going to, if I had to bet on that game, I would say Colorado plus 21, but I don't want to do that.
No Travis Hunter. Guy that hurt Travis Hunter is receiving death threats from the Colorado football fans. Class act over there in Boulder, folks. I'm not going to say anymore.
Dude, honestly though, that game, I'll say one thing about Colorado, and now we're media, so we're talking about them. I just hate how much ESPN, Fox, CBS, they all just are milking the cash cow that is Deion Sanders in Colorado. And quite frankly, Eddie, I'm sick of it.
There's 125 other teams in the FBS. And it's disgusting. And I'm sick of it too, bud.
And I'll say this.
Oregon, USC. We'll just see how those games play out. Yeah. And that roller. I mean, they're riding the roller coaster. You know how we say, we're always on the way up. They're already there, bro. They're going to come crashing down very soon. Mark my words.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the thing about Colorado is they keep saying like, oh, they're making it personal. They're coming at us. It's like, you understand that you're feeding into the fire. You're flexing your watches. You're talking a bunch of smack. You're selling merchandise because you guys are the bad guys, not because people are doing shit to you.
Everybody's going to want to beat you now. Like they're just going to mark that on their calendar, write that one down.
Target.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just ridiculous. Colorado, I can't wait for them to lose this week at Oregon. ACC here, last pick. Florida State at Clemson. Clemson's only favored by 2, bud. Or I'm sorry, Florida State is only favored by 2. And I got Florida State. I know that last week they only won by 2 against Boston College, but that was a special game for Boston College. They did the Wells Crowther jersey. They had some good juju behind them, and Florida State pisses on Clemson.
I agree. I have the same game. Florida State -2 at Clemson. If Duke can put up the amount of points they did on Clemson, I think that Florida State can do the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Are we done? Any closing remarks?
Follow, like, subscribe, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those social medias at Husker Hype Radio. quick week for us, Ed. Not much to talk about, but I'm happy
Aaron,
for the win.
I'm at the point where I just want Saturday to be the next day. I want to see Nebraska football play so much where I just like want the week to be simulated for me, and I wake up on Saturday. But it's, it's like a bittersweet thing to where we're already we're already week 4, man. We only got 8 more of these left. I
I know.
mean, 9 more with the bowl game. But dude, this is the best time of the year, and we're already a fucking quarter of the way in. It's pretty stupid.
I was thinking about this the other day, Eddie. There's 12 days of the regular season where we get up and we worship our team, Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's 3.5% of the year. Only 12 days of the entire year do we get to watch Nebraska football. And then the rest of the time, all we do is think about them and dream about them and just hope for the best.
This fandom runs deep, brother. I mean, it's so awesome. I love Big Red. With that being said, folks, this was Eddie Rosenthal and Aaron Worsfold for Husker Hype Radio Podcast. As always, bleed red, shit corn, go Big Red. We'll see you next week. Nebraska wins, Nebraska wins, Nebraska wins.
Go Big Red.
Bang.